Welcome, this is Sig Taylor with Fish Out Loud. Hey, listen, during the springtime bass spawn funk, and you know what I'm talking about. You watch all these videos, and they're going to tell you their best baits. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. Slow down. These fish are there. They've moved up, and they're just in that springtime spawn funk. Okay, but I tell you right now, have one of these tied on. One of the best baits is, and I like using the watermelon candy from Zoom, and I've got some magnums here, right here, because I'm getting ready to go fishing. And you know, just this color, and I don't care, it doesn't have to be Zoom, but this color in the springtime, these bass, they just want it real nice and slow. And I'm gonna share some secrets with you on how I set up a Nico rig, okay? And you know, if I'm fishing 1 to 2, 3 foot water, I'm probably not gonna put a weight in the front, okay? Let's see here, I got some right here. Probably not gonna put a weight in the front, but you know, if I'm fishing areas and like shallow or a little bit deeper, 4 to 6 foot, maybe 7 foot, where they're hanging out. And these fish, what they're doing when they get in their funk, they're getting ready to move up, and there's a lot of them in transition. They're either on beds, they're getting ready to move up, or they're heading back out. But the first thing they're going to do is get positioned in a place where they can just kind of hang out before they move in, move out, okay? And that's where you want to throw this Nico rig. Watermelon candy, man, in the springtime is just the bomb, okay? And what I do is I take rubber bands, and I get these in the women's section. This is for hair braids and things. And I'll take this rubber band, and by the way, it's the most cost effective, okay? And I'll wrap it around twice. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll work it down about, I don't know, maybe about a third, maybe a little bit, maybe 40% down. Okay, and then if I am going to put a weight in, and by the way, I'm going to do this because I need a weight for this weekend. I'm going to, let me find my tools here. I'm going to first take my little pliers here, just put a little hole in there. You know, one thing about Zoom worms is they're pretty hard, okay? I mean, they're like, you can chew on them compared to, let's say, a Cinco, okay? And by the way, funny story, years ago, a friend of mine, Bud, who was retired game warden, fished with Gary Yamamoto. And, you know, during the day, Bud told us that that evening at dinner, he said, you know, Gary, really love your Cincos, but I wish you'd make them where they last a little longer. And Gary turned around and said, now, why would I do that? Okay, so little funny story from Gary Yamamoto, but what I do with this is, because it's kind of a tough plastic, I will poke a hole in there. But before I stick this in, I am going to just put a little bead of super glue on. Now, I know some of you guys are saying, man, that guy does a lot of work just to go fishing. Yeah, absolutely. I'm always trying to be ready. And what I'll do is I'll do a few of these, you know, maybe 3 or 4 of them for the day. And I'll stick that right in there, in that hole. And it slides right on in, like so. Okay, a little glue keeps it in there. If you don't glue it, here's what I find. They pop out. And these are tungsten. You don't want to be doing that a whole bunch of times. So that gets it in there. I've got the rubber band here ready to go. And I'm going to do one more thing, and you guys are going to think it's crazy, but here's what we got going on. I actually have a meat tenderizer. I like to tenderize the hard plastic worms, get them a little softer so it gets in their mouth, okay? I do it for a couple reasons. One is what I just said, and the second is when I'm done with these, I'll take an extra empty bag, I'll put them in there, and like I say, I'll have about 3 or 4 of them ready to go for fishing on Saturday. And I'll put my favorite gel in, which is thump gel, okay? And I will put it in the bag and get them all greased up, okay? I'm really a big believer in scent. Anything helps. One is, I've already got some glue, and if you know what glue smells like, it's horrible. So I try to get as much scent, and then I'm hoping that some of that scent works its way in the holes here, so it lasts a little longer while on the worm. And then finally, I will take this hook, and again, I've taken this rubber band and wrapped it twice. I'll find the X in there and run it right through, okay? And now I've got this thing ready to go, and I'm throwing it on a spinning rod, okay? Leave the test, that you want to use, the spinning rod that you want to use, or if you want to use a bait caster. But what I'm doing is that I'm tossing it next to every little corner, every little nook and cranny, okay? I'm coming out, throwing it. You're going to catch a lot of bucks, okay? But every once in a while, you're going to have that big female, whether she's moving up or moving out, going to be sitting there, and she can't resist the watermelon candy color. So make sure you got some of these for during the bass spawn funk. It's happening right now, okay? We'll give you an extra dozen bites during the day, and that's what it's all about. Guys, if you have any questions, make some comments down. Tell me your favorite color, okay? There may be another color out there. I happen to, during this time, love watermelon candy. Okay, guys, remember, you're just one cast away.